we just setting the live up, running the first effort to get these lives going. Let me see. There we go. It's not putting my camera on there though. Yeah, we just setting the live up, running the first effort to get these lives going. Let me see. It's gonna be nice when it actually pans out, huh? So from this angle, right, it appears to be live. Let's see. Okay. Nice when it actually pans out, huh? So from this angle, there's some reverberation too. Some reverberation too. I don't fully have it adjusted. So let's just get into it because I wanted to talk today about distractions and what they do um, to deter you from your focus. Um, let's. I don't fully have it adjusted. So let's just get into it because I wanted to talk today about distractions and what they do to deter you from your focus. Let's. So you picture it this way. Let's just picture it this way. What is a distraction? Let's get an image of what a distraction actually looks like. So you're sitting on your phone, um, looking at your Facebook page, looking at a TikTok, and you get a text from home. There's an emergency. Your car won't start. So you go ahead and call a Uber. You're like, man, I'm not even gonna hesitate. There's an Uber 2 minutes away. You're like, okay, let me grab my things, get out the car, start heading towards the corner where the Uber's gonna rendezvous to pick me up. I gotta get home. As you're walking to the corner, somebody's yelling, hey man, hold up. I need to holler at you real quick. Right? Now, the backdrop is that you have a emergency at home. That's the backdrop. You got an emergency. You got an emergency at home. So now, as you're heading to the corner and you're hearing this person calling you, you look back to see who it is. You know the person. You know that they're a serious person. Um, but you also know that they have your phone number. The Uber's pulling up. You yell back, hey, just give me a call in about 30 minutes because I got an emergency. The person continues to come towards you saying, it's only going to take a second, man. What should you do? That's my question. What do you do in that instance wherein a distraction is potentially offsetting or slowing down your response time to an emergency with your family? What do you do? Right? You don't know what information the person who's trying to get to you has to offer you. You don't really know the magnitude of the emergency at home. You don't know whether there's a correlation between the person who's trying to get to you and the emergency at home. You don't know these things. So, what you have to do is make a decision that minimizes the distraction and doesn't prevent you from attaining the goal of your focus, which is to get in this Uber and get to the house. But you want to be able to kind of accommodate both if you can. So what you do, hey man, I told you I got you. You told him, man, give me a call. 30 minutes. It's more important than a call in 30 minutes. Well, I don't know where I got a cough. Well, your options are this. You can disregard this person. You got their phone number. You can jump on the phone with them while you're jumping in the Uber. Hey man, I'm calling you. Or you can allow them to be more of a distraction by putting them in the car with you. You got choices that you can make in a situation where you're being distracted from a focus. And what that distraction is actually doing, um, before you make a determination as to the value of that distraction, right? Before you make a determination of the value of that distraction, because it may be a worthwhile distraction. It may work to serve your actual focus, right? But when you become completely tunnel vision, locked down to one way of viewing it, dismissive. I'm not going to pay this no attention, man, because I got an emergency at home. You don't know the nature of the emergency at home. You don't know the magnitude of the emergency at home. You just know you got a text that there's an emergency at home. You need more information. In both instances, you need more information. So the goal at that point, remember, you don't have to become 100% dismissive of a potential distraction because it could come to serve your focus. Here's a person running up on you that may have a car that knows where you live and may be able to get you there quicker than the Uber. Thought about that? Right? But one of the things we tend to do is we justify thoughtless responses, thoughtless actions because we fail to equate the possibility, right, that this distraction may come to serve your focus, right? So it isn't that you completely dismiss the entertaining of any potential distractions. You have to do a value judgment on a distraction, only in the context that it may come to serve your focus. Like I said, here's a person who might be able to give you a ride and get you there quicker. You don't know. So you put a game plan together real quick to act quickly on a circumstance that warrants your immediate attention, which is intelligent, right? Somebody's coming up to you, distracting you while you're trying to achieve said goal, right? But being dismissive may negate the potential for some assistance with this person. So I just want to offer that in the context of saying when you are, in fact, focused, right, as you are when someone from home texts you and tells you you have a home emergency and your car won't start. So now you start to tapping resources. Immediately, what you're doing right there is tapping resources. I got to figure this out quick, right? At that point, you really have no real distraction. You don't really have any real distraction. So you come up with something off the cuff. Quick thinking is a good thing. Fast moving is a good thing, right? Nothing wrong with that. But being dismissive in the context of an emergency wherein there may be a potential asset to assist you in getting, or facilitate you in getting uh, the goal accomplished much quicker. The part of it being dismissive is not intelligent. So it's one of those things where you got to find a way to do both. And it's multitasking. You're capable of that. We are all capable of it. But sometimes, like I said, we fall into this mode of becoming dismissive because we have prioritized in a way that really wasn't intelligent. Right? It's kind of like a justification. I ain't got to deal with you right now because I'm doing this. Right? But I can, in some cases, deal with you in the context of doing this. As long as I do a value judgment, I determine whether you pose an actual distraction, right? Or you may be able to offer some benefit to my dilemma. So I just wanted to add that. The purpose of a distraction is to take you off course, right? To limit you, to slow you down, to stagnate you from achieving a goal. But when you begin to see yourself as a force, right, you won't readily allow people to distract you. Now, on the other side of this, there's the person who's going to say, hey, man, I'm trying to get in this Uber and stuff, but what you got going on, man? We just going, and they're kind of casual, a little cavalier about allowing somebody to come and present another focus in the midst of them trying to achieve their own focus, because they don't see themselves as a force, right? So another force is acting upon, and I'm trying to give you this in another dynamic. I want you to look at it another way, right? Because it's going to broaden your ability to handle distractions, right? To not allow distractions to deter your focus. But if you are not trying to accomplish anything in life, then this doesn't pertain to you. If nothing you got going on set up that you want to get to and get done, this doesn't pertain to you, But just take the lesson if it benefits you. I think this will still be, the lives are recorded. Again, this is a learning phase of my journey to get into this internet and this YouTube and this podcast and things of that nature. And I committed to a time of 4 o'clock, so I'm gonna give you what I can in the format that's available to me to give it to you. But remember, you're a force. And you have to see the value of the force in yourself when you're dealing with others. Right? Because if you're so let's just say you was on your way to my house and you're a force, and I'm in an emergency trying to get to my house, and I'm a force. If we combine forces, we get that done quicker. Then the few seconds I'm waiting on the Uber might not do 50 miles an hour in a 45 for me, right? The Uber might not know the route or take the route that I'm trying. You have distractions in an Uber, like y'all need you to take this street. Nah, I gotta follow the GPS. The GPS is the long way, man. I got an emergency, right? So these are things you gotta consider when you're in the midst of a focus and a distraction comes up, and you have a thing that you're trying to, as a goal, achieve. You're trying to get to it, right? Don't be dismissive until you make an actual determination. Oh man, I just wanted to. I was seeing if you was gonna come to the card game tonight, and you stopped me a second time after I told you I had an emergency. You said this won't take a second, and you just wanted to tell me about the card game, and you got my phone number. You could have texted me and all of those things. Now you're distracted, right? The distraction is working at that point to take you off course. Be careful about that. Okay? Just wanted to say that to y'all, man. This is your homeboy, Fat Rat Evolved, man. Original West Side Playboy Gangsta Crips. We got to get into some thinking. Uh, some courses of action that we can take to deter some of the negativity that we keep jumping into, man. I watch a lot of the brothers who are doing Facebook and doing YouTube, and the subject matter that they choose, the content that they address. I won't be doing that. We're not going to talk about uh, what's in the sewer. We just gonna make a summation. We go in on Fat Rat Evolve. We're gonna just say the sewer got doo doo in it, and it stinks. And I don't want to be in an environment where there's sewage. That's how I'm gonna do that. And then we're gonna work. We're gonna unpack principles that are gonna help us to evolve ourselves, man, into beacons of light, man, better individuals, man. So with that being said, man, I'm gonna go on and get off of here. It's my first live. I don't even know if it's actually happening, but I'm hoping that it happened, so I can do it. It's a test run. We're supposed to be on a video because I'm setting it up so that I can draw people into my lives, and we're gonna have these discussions about the Playboy Gangsta Crips on that west side of Los Angeles, and then we're gonna look at what some of the things that we did wrong that we could improve on. So with that being said, man, y'all have a blessed one.